These 7 fragrances are perfectly well blended, 10 out of 10 in my opinion, and hardly anyone is talking about these, especially the last 3, and the very last one just got released, so make sure to watch till the end. We start off the list with Kajal Äican, and this is actually my favorite from the house. And I had a little sort of like saying in this fragrance. It's a funny story. It's like a short story. They released this year in March, I think, during Exans in Milan, so the biggest fragrance convention in the world. I was there, but I also was in New York at Sun Expo in December. And Mo, the owner of Kajal, he invited me and he said, like, come, I have 3 fragrances unreleased. I want your honest opinion. So he let me smell 3 fragrances. The other 2 weren't bad or anything, but this stood out. I said, this is perfect. I love it. Exactly what I like. Super unisex. It smells like a strong fragrance as well. It still needed to macerate, of course. I said, release this, for real, like release this. Of course, it's not because I said it. Probably he had a lot of influence from other people, but they released it. So in March, I was at Milan, Exans, and Mo was super kind. He said, you can use my booth, drop your backpack here, it's safe here. So I dropped my backpack there. Super kind people from Kajal. And I said, is this it? Well, at least I said, this is the new release. He said, yeah, smell it. Let me know what you think. So I grabbed it, I smelled it. I said, oh, this is the one you let me smell in New York. He said, yeah, we released it. And so I was super happy that they picked this because this was the best out of the 3. And you want to know how it smells, obviously. So maybe you smelled Kajal Almaz before. I also have that bottle. Also amazing, superb fragrance, but this is actually even better. So let's say it has that DNA, but they turned it into another fragrance. So they have similarities, but they're completely different fragrances at the same time. This smells like a pina colada. This smells like a cocktail. This is not boozy, but it gives you a sort of cocktail boozy vibe. It has like pineapple, obviously, but it also has passion fruit and mandarin. So it is fruity, it's sweet, it has a bit of like zestiness with a hint of ginger, which is very nice. There's a bit of spiciness with the black pepper and jasmine, which is white floral and sweet. There's no coconut listed in it, but it gives you that sort of pina colada vibe. There's no rum listed in it, but still you have that sort of pina colada vibe. Maybe it is in there, like a slight hint of rum something. I think I can detect it. It's not listed in the note, but smells phenomenal. It's like, it's also, I think it's beast mode. It's very strong. It has, I think, the strongest Kajal I smelled so far. Amazing performance. Super sexy for spring, summer. But I think this is perfect for fall and winter too, because it's loud. And I would say it has a sort of like the creamy sandalwood combined with the musk in the base. It has a muskiness in the dry down. It has vanilla. It has a slight hint of vetiver. It also has praline. It's very sweet, but it's also fresh at the same time. But it also has that woodiness, that warm spiciness. I think this is perfect for fall. In my opinion, a 10 out of 10, super unisex, very sexy on men. This is the perfect date night fragrance. If you wanna like have a date night and you wanna impress a lady, ladies love sweet fragrances on men. This is it. This is super sexy. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. I would say not a safe blind buy because maybe not everybody likes this scent profile, but get at least a sample of it. You can get it at scentsplit.com, save 10%, full bottles or decants. You can grab like 1 ml, 2 ml, 5 ml, 9 mls. So Jorino 10 for 10% discount. I would say get your nose on this. This is perfectly versatile. You can wear this all year round, but it smells more like spring and summery. But in fall, this is also perfect, and in winter, because it cuts through the cold, it's strong, and it's sweet and it's loud. I would say you can wear this to the office, but maybe not spray too much. You can wear this in literally any situation. Going out clubbing, you will have like people around you smelling you, and what I said, like it has that pina colada vibes. Very tropical, fresh and sweet, super sexy. Check this one out. Next up, we have Vertus, Ambre, Elixir. And this is my favorite from the house. It is super underrated. It even has a low rating on Fragrantica for some weird reason. And I don't know why, because this smells phenomenal in my opinion. I had the privilege to sample 21 fragrances from them. They have like a big box with 21 like fragrances with cards included. It's a very luxurious sample set. Max Aroma sent it to me like more than a year ago, and I could choose one of the fragrances. So everybody's talking about Vanilla Oud. Amazing fragrance. I love it. It was my second favorite from the house. But this, Amber Elixir, stood out to me. I don't know why it is underrated. I don't know why it's get a low score on Fragrantica, for example. But this smells phenomenal. Yeah, you know by now that I love sweet fragrances. I love gourmand fragrances. But this is not your typical gourmand. They've done it in a different way, in my opinion. And of course, the name Amber, it says it is ambery, but it's boozy, woody, warm, spicy, musky. It is sweet. It is everything you need. That rhymes. But I would say, I will describe it like it's different than your typical gourmand fragrance. So it has the dried fruits combined with the rum. There's a hint of grapefruit, which gives it a little bit of sort of fresh vibe to it. There are several types of wood. There's cedar wood, teak wood, cashmere wood, and sandalwood. And the sandalwood also gives it a little bit of creaminess. It is ambery, musky. It also has a nice saffron. Saffron can be a love or a hate. Saffron is, of course, like warm, spicy, but sometimes, or a lot of the times, they take the saffron DNA from Baccarat Rouge, which I actually dislike. I don't like that saffron DNA at all. But the saffron in here goes the other way. This is a nice warm spiciness, and it's very like fruity and sweet at the same time, very ambery, very woody, and it just smells phenomenal. Just this is perfect in my opinion. I love this. Perfectly well blended from the top to the mid to the dry down. Very sophisticated, high quality fragrance. But yeah, for some weird reason, it's underrated. I don't know why. I would say this is perfect for fall, winter. You can wear this on a date night. It's super sexy, super alluring in my opinion. It's a sweet and seductive fragrance. You can pull this off to the office, why not? Just don't spray too much. Perfect for going out clubbing as well. Casual wear. I wouldn't wear this in spring, maybe early spring, but not in the summer. But yeah, it just smells amazing. I would say not a safe blind buy, maybe unless you love sweet, ambery, gourmand fragrances, but still, it's pretty expensive. I think it's about 300 euros or dollars. It's not a cheap fragrance, I would say. Get your nose on it, like sample it at least, and let me know what you think. I think this is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Next up, we have Superz, Budapest, Tenerife. And this was an instant love. I just got it in last week or something. I unboxed it, I sprayed it towards the camera, and I smelled it in the air, and I thought, I love this DNA because this reminds me of one of my very first fragrances when I was a teenager, when I was a kid. Nikos Sculpture came out in 1995, and they have used, I think, that DNA to make this fragrance because it has like 80% of that DNA, but it has 20% its own twist. This even smells better than Nico Sculpture, and this is a beast. It's very strong, super mass appealing, fresh and sweet. I would say this is signature scent worthy. I love that DNA. So that was one of my very first fragrances because I had a stepbrother who was like 9 years older than me, and I think I was 12 or something, I don't know. And he had Aqua di Gio, the original, Le Male, the original, Dolce Gabbana, Pour Homme, like old school fragrances, and Nico Sculpture. And Nico Sculpture was very affordable. I think it was like 25 euros back then. So I could afford it when I was like 12. So I love that fragrance, and I really love this as well. It has that same DNA. It's super like ambery, Sweet vanilla, fresh at the same time, white floral. It smells very classic and modern at the same time. And you can wear this in literally any situation. Because it's fresh and sweet, you can wear this 365 days a year. This is a beast. It cuts through the cold as well. You can wear this to work, to the office, going out clubbing, on date nights, whatever you want to do. I would say this is a perfect signature scent, and it has like amazing performance as well. Still, I would say always I recommend to sample instead of blind buying, of course. But you can get decants of this at scentsplit.com. You can use the code Drino10 also on the official website. You can also buy samples at the official website, by the way. But Superz Budapest Tenerife, massively underrated in my opinion. Super sexy. You need to check this one out. Next up, we have Initio Blessed Baraka. And this is such a masterpiece. I recently got it in. I finally have it in my collection. And this is, in my opinion, the best from the house. People are always talking about Side Effect, which is amazing. I also love more fragrances. Rehab is amazing. But this goes under the radar. And maybe it is because this is not for everyone. This is a little bit dirty. It's a little bit animalic. There's a sort of dirty sexiness to it. It gives it some like dark and mysterious vibes to it. Not a safe blind buy at all. But if you know, Parfums de Marly and Initio are sister companies. This is made by master perfumer Alberto Morillas, and I think this is my favorite creation from him because this is just so sexy. Let's say if you love Parfums de Marly, Ojan, Carlisle, and Harrod. Those three, grab from all three a little bit of their DNA, let's say 25% from all of them together, mix it in a bottle, and then you have like 75% of that DNA in a bottle, and this gives it another 25% of his own twist, sort of. So let's say those three scent profiles sort of together, that's what I'm getting. I love those three fragrances, I have them all three. But those three together and then mixed in a sort of dark, ambery, animalic, dirty, like blend. So it's not safe for everyone. This is not a safe blind buy. I wouldn't recommend blind buying this at all. But at least try to get a sample of this because it smells phenomenal. It's a beast mode fragrance and it has something very dark and mysterious. So the note breakdown is pretty simple actually. It has like amber, musk, white flowers, sandalwood, and vanilla. But I think it has more to it. I think it has more to it because it has like that powderiness. It is ambery. It is musky and sweet and animalic. It sort of has a sort of, I don't know, leathery vibe to it. Maybe some sort of like labdanum. I also think there's Isui Super in it, I guess. I'm not sure. I think it also has a little bit of that Ojan, like cinnamon kind of DNA. So there's more to it than this simple no breakdown, but it smells phenomenal. The sort of dirtiness from like the musk and the amber, it has a sort of animalicness to it. It's very alluring in my opinion. Again, not a safe blind buy. Try to sample this, get your nose on this, and this is perfect for fall and winter. Perfect to cut through the cold. It's a beast. It projects. It's very strong. I wouldn't recommend wearing this to the office, or I don't even think wearing it on a date night because, for example, my girlfriend, she really dislikes it. She doesn't like this fragrance at all. And I think maybe most women don't, unless you want to come across like a very like macho man, leather jacket. You want to, it's very masculine, it's super masculine, but it also has that sort of sweetness to it. So there's a sweet hint of vanilla. It has a little bit of a gourmand vibe to it, sort of, but it's more dark and mysterious. It's hard to explain. I would say perfectly well balanced, perfectly well blended. A 10 out of 10 masterpiece in my opinion. Again, not a safe blind buy. Try to get a sample and thank me later. We arrived at the last tree with Soma Parfums, Halcyon, Oud, and this is actually my favorite from the house. Yes, I prefer this over my own fragrance, Oblivion, to be honest. This is such a masterpiece, and I talked about this like 5 months ago, but it was a 100 bottle limited edition, and I thought like, okay, it's going to be sold out, and I won't talk about it anymore. But they relaunched it. They have another limited run on this bottle, and in my opinion, this is a must-have. If I would make another top 10 video, this would be in my top 10. If I could have this fragrance like forever in my life, then this would be forever in my top 10. This is such a masterpiece, perfectly well blended. It's like the original Halcyon, but they added 5.5% Cambodian oud to it. So it has a dark and mysterious like touch to it, which makes it extra sexy. So it's a gourmand fragrance. So it is sweet, it's warm, spicy, it has toffee, it has honey, it has cinnamon, it has rum, it has tobacco, it has benzoin, it has vanilla tonka bean, it's warm, spicy, it has musk, it is ambery, it has everything you need. It's perfect for fall and winter, and that Cambodian oud just gives it a little bit of sort of dirtiness to it, but it's super sexy. I would say if you maybe smelled Halcyon before, just think of Halcyon with oud. Very simple. If you love fragrances like I showed you Bless Baraka before, if you know that scent profile and you know the scent profile of Ojan, it's sort of Bless Baraka mixed with Ojan, I would say, but different still. So it has that sweetness, the rum combined with the tobacco, the honey, which isn't too prominent, but it gives a little bit of sweetness with toffee, cinnamon, the warm spiciness of vanilla and tonka bean, and the sweetness all combined. It's out of this world. This is a masterpiece, and people should know about this fragrance. You can get it at Scent Split, by the way. Scent Split, you can get decants. I would really suggest you to sample this at least. Not a safe blind buy. Just try to sample this. And if this, for some weird reason, isn't available anymore, try to sample Halcyon at least. Halcyon is sort of the same. This is better, actually. But Halcyon has the same DNA and is maybe slightly more mass appealing because it doesn't contain oud. Oud is not for everyone, so I wouldn't recommend blind buying this, but this is a masterpiece. A must have if you love oud fragrances, if you love gourmand fragrances. Try to check this one out. Perfect in my opinion for date night because it's very sexy and the oud is not too oudy, especially in the projection. You don't detect the oud. It's a massive compliment. I got major compliments with this. And I'm going to wear this tomorrow actually. I just sprayed it and I just thought, I'm going to wear this tomorrow. So check this one out. Thank me later. Try to get at least a sample or buy a bottle while it's still available because it's another limited run. I'm not sure how many bottles they made. I have to ask Dan, but it's another limited edition. So check this one out. Next up, we have Nuit, Nomade, Ambre, Khandjar. And you can guess it, another ambery, warm, spicy, sweet, gourmandish fragrance because I just love that. And it's fall, it's perfect for these kind of fragrances. And these scent profiles, it's just, I have a big crush on these scent profiles. I'm wearing actually Ani and Ojan layered together. Also super gourmandish. I love that. And this one, massively underrated. Nuit is an amazing house. They have very fair prices, beautiful packaging, and amazing fragrances. So you need to really check this brand out. I think they are pretty inexpensive, 160 euros for 100 ml. Like designers are already at these prices retail by now. And you can get 10% off, by the way. But okay, let me talk about the fragrance first. This is, of course, the name says it, Ambre. So it is an amber fragrance, but it's not your typical amber fragrance. It is a gourmandish, sweet, warm, spicy, ambery fragrance with plum and mandarin. So it is fruity. It has orris, so it's a bit like powdery creamy, a touch of ylang ylang, which is more like the support on the background. It has labdanum and benzoin. It has a creamy sandalwood. It has vanilla. This is just blended into perfection, in my opinion. And actually, I thought that my girlfriend would sort of dislike it, maybe. Although, yeah, it's very alluring, in my opinion. But the opening is pretty, like, sort of dark and mysterious. There's an ambery opening, which is, yeah, might not be mass appealing at all to some noses. And my girlfriend is really picky. But she loves it and she wears it herself as well sometimes. So I made the biggest dent, obviously, because I do 15 plus sprays with everything I wear. She does like 3 to 5 sprays. But she worn it a couple of times and I actually thought she wouldn't like it. In my opinion, it's unisex, but it leans more to the masculine side because it has that sort of, I don't know, that plum, that sort of fruity, dark and mysterious, warm, spicy amberiness. What it has, like, yeah, in my opinion, it's more masculine, but it's unisex enough. I think it's a wonderfully well blended fragrance. Not a safe blind buy. I would say get your nose on this at least. Perfect for fall and winter, perfect for date nights. I think it's super sexy. It's super alluring, especially like the projection. It's not a super heavy. It's not a beast mode fragrance or anything, but it has an above moderate projection. You leave a nice central. It has good performance. I think this lasts over 10 hours on my skin, and it macerates. The longer you have it, the stronger it becomes. I wouldn't wear this to the office or anything, but going out clubbing, warm and cozy on the couch, perfect for fall and winter, perfect for date nights. I wouldn't wear this to school or the office, but like just casual wear. I wear fragrances whenever I feel like it. I wear them at home. I wear them like whatever I do. I wear them to work. I work in the harbor, but I wear my most expensive fragrances even to work. But this is super sexy. I would say try to get at least a sample and thank me later. Last but not least, we have a new release from Bon Parfumeur 502 Iris Cartagena, and this is a masterpiece in my opinion. I just got it in a couple of days ago. I gave it a full wearing and it was an instant love. Today my girlfriend was wearing it, so I could also detect it on her, how it was projecting off her. And I think this is a beast because it projects, it's very loud. I was wearing Ojan and Ani layered, and these are very loud, especially like Ani super loud. My old Ojan badge is also very strong. And she was sometimes overpowering me with this. And this projects. I would say this is unique scent profile. It's a gourmand fragrance, but not your typical gourmand fragrance. So it has like a nice powderiness, iris and cacao. And the cacao also comes off powdery, but it gives it like a sweet, warm, spicy, woody feeling. It has a sort of smokiness to it, a sort of leathery vibe in the background. But overall, the cacao is very prominent. There's also rum and mandarin, which gives it a little bit of sweet, boozy touch to it. Very nice. Like the whole blend from the top to the mid to the dry down. I think it's very unique. Maybe the opening, let's say the first 10 minutes, are maybe not for everyone, but the magic happens after like 20 to 30 minutes when it goes more to the mid, and then further it goes to the dry down. But like the whole everything, like the whole vibe, I would say if you try this, it's not a safe blind buy. Don't try it on a tester strip. Try this on skin and give it a full wearing and judge it after a few hours, because this evolves on your skin. I always recommend sample fragrances, test them on your skin for a couple of hours, obviously. But if you give this a full wearing, and you go outside, you catch the wind and you catch the whiffs. This is so massively well blended. It has so many aspects to the fragrance. It's very complex and it smells very unique in my opinion. I saw that some people already compared it to Gris Chanel Extrait. I have it here. I get it sort of because it has that same dark and mysterious sort of powdery feeling, but this is different. This is just different. The whole combination of notes, there's a sort of smokiness to it. The vanilla gives it a little bit of sweetness as well, combined with the rum. The sandalwood is creamy, but also it has cedarwood. It's a bit like dark and mysterious. It's very woody and warm spicy. And the powderiness and also the cacao gives a little like sort of powdery vibe to it. It's hard to describe. You have to sample this. Also, very good priced, 160 euros for 100 ml. And it's an extrait. Amazing performance. I think this is a beast. I cannot say it yet because I want to give it some more wearings, but so far it has great projection, amazing longevity, already over 10 hours on my skin. And my girlfriend was wearing it today and she does like 5 spray max, and it was really projecting off her. I could detect it from on her, like from like 2-3 meters, so it projects very well. I would say not a safe blind buy, but try to get a sample of this. It just came out, so maybe it's hard to sample, but you have to check this one out. Iris Cartagena. Thanks again for watching. It will be really helpful if you like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel, of course. Watch my other videos, but especially let me know what you think of these fragrances. In my opinion, they are very underrated. All of them, 10 out of 10. Have you tried these? Maybe you own one of these. I would say all of them are not safe blind buys. Try to get a sample first, get your nose on it, and come back to the video. Get samples, come back to the video, let me know what you think of the fragrances, or at least let me know your scent of the day. Like I said, I was wearing Ani and Ocean layered. Perfect layering combination. If you want me to do another layering video with only maybe layering combinations, I can do that. I already made a layering video. If you want to like have the best tips about layering, check out that video. I also give a few suggestions with layering. And in the meantime, check me out on every platform, on YouTube every day. I post several times a day in the community section, memes, polls, scent of the day, scent of the morning, etc. I post 2 YouTube shorts a day, 2 Instagram reels. I post on TikTok, on Threads, 100% fragrance content. You can also guess my scent of the day, stuff like that on my Instagram story. So check me out on every platform. And next week I will be back with another full video. You may overspray. Namaste. Thanks for watching.